Today's reading is Hobgoblin, an entry from the Monster Encyclopedia book series. A mutated variant of the goblin that has part of its body extremely fattened up. Their unique characteristics are the huge breast, which aren't seen among regular goblins. That is, they differ from the goblins, which stop growing and have small, childlike forms in only one way. Their breasts are enlarged. Their personalities are still childish, just like goblins, but they tend to be more spaced out. Somehow they give off an even more carefree vibe. They are a rare occurrence among births from normal goblins. Among them, the birth of one of these hobgoblins is very much celebrated, and they are greatly respected by ordinary goblins. When goblins form gangs to go out and assault human men, hobgoblins are always chosen as the leaders by the goblins around them. Even when they seize a human man, they are likely to defer to their leaders, the hobgoblins themselves, giving them priority when it comes time for sex. However, perhaps because the enlarged portion of their body robs them of nutrients, they are often even slower in the head than normal goblins. They're simpler than goblins, and perhaps because of the weight of their huge breast, nowhere near as agile. When the goblins who formed a gang chase the man around, they're always the ones lagging behind. They're often observed falling down during the chase as well. However, they do have brute strength far beyond that of a regular goblin. They easily swing around giant weapons far larger than what ordinary goblins use. Once they catch a man, they use their brute strength, knock him down, intent on having sex with him. With their arms embracing a man, it's impossible for him to shake free with mere human strength. Their huge breasts, which have quite a weighty feel to them, are pressed against a man's body during sexing and can provide a man with pleasure while freely changing shape or going squish. However, at the same time, their breasts are very sensitive, so they can experience intense pleasure just by rubbing them against a man's body. For that reason, when their breasts are touched by a man, pleasure attacks them like a current of electricity coursing throughout their body. Just having them groped and rubbed will induce enough waves of pleasure to bring them to climax again and again, and they won't be able to make sense of it, and they will, no doubt, leave everything to the man. When a man stops moving his hands and fondling their breast, they'll react as if they've become addicted to the stimulus, panicking when the pleasure suddenly stops, and frantically rubbing their body against his and begging him to continue with tears in their eyes. In this way, even during sex, they're at a man's mercy, but that's no cause for relief, for after enjoying the view of the hobgoblin's breasts and getting aroused from watching them have sex, the other goblins will be fully ready to join in on the action. After reading this far, I would assume you pretty much have it figured out, but other than their freakish strength, hobgoblins are inferior to ordinary goblins in almost every way. So why do the other goblins respect the hobgoblins and give them priority when it comes to sex? It may be hard to believe, but according to the goblins themselves, it seems the terrifying logic goes like this. Breast. Amazing. Well, I can't argue with that kind of logic. Such reasoning certainly seems fitting given their childish nature. However, after giving it some careful thought, being monsters that prioritize having sex with human men, as far as the goblins are concerned, having huge breasts is a perk that enhances one's abilities during sex. In fact, it may be that it's treated as such a huge perk, pun not intended, that the benefit simply outweighs all the flaws.